Many people have beliefs that others may find strange or unusual.
And sometimes these beliefs are in opposition to what most consider to be simple science.
Take modern flat Earth societies, for example, who don't believe our planet is a sphere.
We're not here to judge, but this one just seems a little bit silly.
So modern flat Earth societies are groups of people that believe that the Earth is flat.
Modern flat Earth hypotheses originated with the English writer Samuel Rowbotham. He based his claim on something called the Bedford Level Experiment.
This was a series of observations along a 6-mile length of the old Bedford River in England. The water here is often perfectly still, and importantly, the riverbed is straight.
In this experiment, Rowbotham used a telescope just 8 inches off the surface of the water to observe a boat with a flag on its mast moving away from him.
He reported that it remained constantly in view for the full 6 miles, that's 9.7 kilometers for you, Mike, and that if the water was curved with the accepted circumference of a spherical Earth, the top of the mast should have been some 11 feet below his line of sight at that distance.
Rowbotham published his findings in 1849 and again in a book named Earth Not a Globe in 1865. Rowbotham was a very literal man.
Yeah, that title just really says what's in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So how is this possible? We know that the Earth is a sphere. It comes down to something called atmospheric refraction. Light deviates from a straight line to a curved one as it travels through our thick atmosphere. Near the ground, this produces mirages that can take distant objects and make them appear to shimmer or ripple. This is the reason that the moon sometimes looks so large when it's at the horizon.
That simple explanation was not enough for his followers, though, who continued to claim that the Earth is shaped like a disc.
After their leader's death, the movement slowed until 1956 when a man named Samuel Shenton created the International Flat Earth Society.
This group's beliefs are based on those pioneered by Rowbotham.
The group believes that we all live on top of a flat disk. The North Pole is at its center, and the edge is ringed by Antarctica and then a 150-foot-high wall of ice.
I think a lot of people, when they assume flat Earth, think, or at least I always have thought of the idea of being the Earth as a square, but it's not that. It's the idea of just a flat disk.
They look to the flag of the United Nations as support for their beliefs. It's a top-down view of the Earth, resembling a disc-like surface that they preach.
As if, for some reason, a flag is some kind of coincidental proof. It seems like such a tiny thread to be grabbing onto, but they do anyway. In the 1960s, satellite images first showed the Earth as a sphere. Upon seeing these, Shenton said, "It's easy to see how a photograph like that could fool the untrained eye." Not like a flag, I guess.
After Shenton's death, Charles Johnson took over leadership of the group. They started producing a regular 4-page publication, and membership grew to 3,500.
What are you filling 4 regular pages with?
I classifieds? I don't know. I have no idea.
I understand if they created like a 4-page pamphlet that explained their beliefs, but what's changing? I don't understand. I feel like we need to get a copy of this pamphlet. I think that's where we failed. Johnson paid for these publications through annual member dues that cost $10 a year.
Johnson recruited members to speak against the U.S. government and NASA. He believed scientists were pulling a hoax that would end up with science replacing religion for the masses.
Johnson passed away in 2001, but of course there are still groups who believe his teaching. In October 2009, the remaining Flat Earth Society launched a new website and web forum where members can discuss this and other topics. On the site, the group introduced themselves like this: "The Flat Earth Society mans the guns against oppression of thought and the globularist lies of a new age. Standing with reason, we offer a home to those wayward thinkers that march bravely on with reason and truth in recognizing the true shape of the Earth, flat."
This week's episode of Ingenious is made possible by Tom Ben. Tom Ben makes backpacks and briefcases and messenger bags, and they're all great. My personal favorite right now is the Synapse 19. I can carry my 13-inch MacBook Pro, an iPad, a camera, and some cables very easily, but the beauty of it is small and compact. If it's basically empty, it cinches down real small and expands as needed. It's made great, the zipper pulls are nice, and it's one of my favorite bags I've ever owned. Tom Ben bags are made in the USA. To order now, go to Tom Ben, that's TOMBIHN.com. They come with a lifetime guarantee, superior construction, and thoughtful design. Thanks to Tom Benz for reporting Ingenious and all of Relay FM.
Is the Earth flat?
Nope.
Moving on.
It's not. But it's not a perfect sphere either. It is slightly oblate. Due to its rotation around its own axis, the planet bulges slightly at the equator.
The Earth's diameter is 12,742 kilometers, which is 7,918 miles. And like other terrestrial planets, the Earth has a core, mantle, and crust.
Now, planets form in sphere-like shapes due to their own gravity collecting and holding material tightly around a core.
And there are some simple ways to verify that the Earth is not a flat disk. The first is to look at lunar eclipses, in which the Earth passes between the Sun and the Moon. When this occurs, you see that the shadow that the Earth casts is round.
People north and south of the equator see different stars and constellations, as the curve of the Earth makes the sky they see different.
The higher you are off the surface of the planet, the further across the surface you can see. If the Earth were flat, a person on the ground would see just as far as someone higher, but because of the Earth's curvature, they cannot.
Planes and spacecraft in orbit can circle the Earth without stopping, and their occupants can observe the curvature of the planet with their own eyes.
Every other planet humankind has studied is also a sphere.
Do we really have to keep talking about this?
Nope. I would hope at this point that everybody is convinced. Although, I don't know. We may have some anti-globularists listening to the show today.
Obviously, people can believe all sorts of things, but this is something that I really struggle to wrap my head around. I really can't see it.
It just doesn't feel like something that would still exist today. I understand why people had once considered the Earth flat, because it was one of two options, really. But I don't know why in the modern age, with everything that we've seen and everything that we can observe, people still consider that the Earth is indeed flat. But in this end, I would like to give you some tidbits that I picked up from the frequently asked questions on theflatearthsociety.org, which is a website that all of our listeners should go and visit anyway. So here's some tidbits that come from the Flat Earth Society. Satellites don't exist. They're put there to fool us. Astronauts have been bribed. The moon landing was fake, so is any other NASA information. Airplane windows serve to distort the view of passengers, making them think they see a curvature in the Earth. And gravity is force. Objects simply fall. So, there you go.
I think that does it for this topic. I think we're done.
I think we are.
If you want to find show notes this week, you can go check out these links at relay.fm/ungenius/13. If you want to get in touch with us, you can email us from that page, or you can find us on Twitter. Mike is at IMYKE, and I'm there as ISMH. Until our next word article, Mike, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Adios.